On this episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, we are answering all of your questions. One thing for sure is we get a lot of questions pertaining to real estate here at Elite Realty Group. Some questions about buying, some questions about selling, some questions just about real estate in general, like what's it like to be in real estate, part-time, full-time, how do I even get into it? Well, today is your lucky day because we are tackling all of those questions. This one is sure to give a ton of information to you. Hang on, y'all. Let's go. Hello once again, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast, bringing you the most up-to-date, relevant real estate information you're going to find anywhere on the planet. You're going to get it right here from your friends at Elite Realty Group. I am Mike Elkins, broker owner of Elite Realty Group here in beautiful Morristown, Tennessee, the Lakeway area, the East Tennessee region, bringing you some good real estate information today. We wanted to take just a moment of time for this podcast to answer a lot of the most common questions that we get pertaining to real estate. One thing about it is when you are in the real estate arena like we are on a daily basis, able and honored to serve many people in their real estate road that they decide to go down. There's a lot of questions that people have about real estate. Buyer questions, seller questions, general real estate questions, and we honestly answer these over and over. So what a better thing to do? There's actually not a better thing to do than to take the time today and answer for you some of the most common questions that we get from you guys. Again, we say this a lot. If you've ever got questions about buying, selling, investing, real estate in general, our page is always open to provide you that information. Send us a private message. However you can connect with us, call the office. That is why we do this podcast, is we want people to be educated as far as the real estate arena goes. We found that when people kind of already know a little bit about what's going on, it makes the whole process easier for all parties involved. That's you, the buyer, you, the seller, us, the agents. It makes it so much easier when we kind of got a little bit about it. But real estate is ever changing. It changes constantly. What's going on? How does this work? How does that work? It changes constantly. And so the questions continue to just filter in. Today, we're diving into those questions. So let's jump right in and answer the questions that we get the most pertaining to real estate right here at Elite Realty Group. So let's go. Question number one. This is probably one of the biggest questions that we get. This is from a buyer, okay? This is a buyer question. And the question is this: I'm renting right now. How do I know if I'm actually ready to buy a home? And that is a wonderful question for you to be asking. So you're renting, okay? How do I know when it's time for me to go from renter to homeowner? Well, here's what I'm going to say, okay? Nobody's going to know the answer to that question except for you, the person that's wanting to go from renting to buying a home. Now, there's some just literally, what you would say guaranteed ways that you're going to know that you got to go from renting to homeowning. That may be you're renting a place, your rent keeps going up, and you don't want to be always wondering, is my rent going to go up next month, next quarter, next year? You want a payment that's always the same payment. Might be time for you to go from renter to homeowner. You also may be renting a place that you're like, hey, my situation is about to change. Maybe my family is about to grow. Maybe my family is about to have a child move out. I'm going to need a different place because of size. I need more square footage. I need less square footage. That could be a reason for you to go from renting to buying. There are always those. But let me go deeper and say, okay, you are going to know the answer to that question, renting to buying a home, because maybe it's time for you to start building wealth for yourself and your family. Being a homeowner is a great way to do that. But nobody's going to know the answer to that question for you, because this is what we say all the time here at Elite Realty Group. Being a buyer, being a renter, you answer that question. But when it's right for you to go from renting to buying, it's the right time. The market doesn't matter. The interest rates doesn't matter. What everybody else doesn't think matters. What matters is what you think. And when you feel it's time for me, how do I know when it's time? You know when it's time when you know when it's time. That's how you answer that question. It's because you want to go from renting to owning a home. Great question. Next question, let's answer a home seller question, okay? This is one we get a lot because pricing right now is, I told our agents the other day, it's one of the most hardest, difficult things that we do in the market right now. So here's the question. How do you determine, as a realtor, meaning us as realtors, how do you determine what my home is worth? And why, I love the follow-up to this, and why do some agents price homes differently? Great question, okay? So how do we determine what your home's worth, okay? We don't just pull this out of thin air, okay? It's not what we think. It's not just, well, I've been in a bunch of homes and this is what I think yours is worth. We always go to the market to determine what we price your house at, because the market always tells the story. I like to use this analogy, and it's always spot on. Your home to you is worth more to anybody else in the world because it's your home. You've got memories there. You've raised a family there. It's your home. You've done upgrades to it. You've made just a ton of memories there. It's your home. It's worth more to you than anybody in the world. So we can't really let you price it, right? Because it's up here. To somebody buying it, they're going to want to get the lowest price for it, okay? It's just, they're trying to get a good deal. So to them, it's going to be very low. The market tells us the truth. So what we do, how do we determine your home's value? We go to the market. Now, what we want to do is price apples to apples, okay? We want to look at homes in the same location, same square footage, same amenities, same upgrades, same condition as your home. And we want to look at three different areas of the market. We want to look at active because that's your competition. We want to look at sold because those people did what you're getting ready to do and they got it right. And we also want to look at expired because they did what you're trying to do, but they got it wrong. So actives are our competition. We got to fit in there. Solds, we got to take that into consideration because they got it right. We got to look at expireds because they got it wrong. We're going to take all that data. We're going to put it all together, and we're going to come up with a market price range where your home needs to be. It's never just our opinion or your opinion. It's what does the market data say. Now, why do some agents price homes differently? Because everybody's got a thought on this, okay? Everybody has their way of doing their thing. Some people just walk in and they use their expertise. That's up to them. Some people just say, well, this is what I think. That's up to them. Some people ask you what you want. That's up to them. Some people price it considering maybe I'm going after an investor. Everybody's got their prerogative as how they want to do it. How we do it is we go to the market because the market has no feelings and it will not lie to us about where does that home price come in. So that's the way that we use when pricing a home in today's market. Very, very good question. Okay. Question number 3 that I want to go with today. Okay. This is a good one. We get this one a lot because we're always looking for good people here at Elite Realty Group. Okay. We get the question quite often of this. I've thought about getting into real estate. Where should I start? What should I do? Okay. It's actually become a whole lot more friendly to people today than it has been in several years of getting into real estate. So what happens is you have to take 2 classes, okay? One's a 60-hour class, one's a 30-hour class. You have to take those 2 classes and pass them. And then once you take those 2 classes and pass them, you have to also then go take a test. And you have to pass the test also. That's what you have to do to be able to get into real estate. Now, after that, you got to get a broker, which if you're thinking of getting into real estate, for sure come and talk to us because you want to hear what we have to offer because it's pretty good. I'm a little partial to that. But you start with those classes. Now, those classes can be taken in person. For what I know is the closest place to Morristown is Knoxville that you can go take those in person. If you go take them in person, it's a 3-week process of taking those classes. However, when I say it's a lot more user-friendly now you can actually take them online. Okay, you can go, you can purchase the materials, you can get the class, you take it online. If you take it online, you take it at your leisure. You have up to a year after you purchase the class to get the class completed and get the test taken to get your license and everything as far as that goes. You also can go take the test in person. That's also done at a testing center in Knoxville. But now you can also take the test online at your own home. It's a proctored exam. There's literally somebody watching you. You have to show them your room and show them your desk and your hands. And you got to keep your eyes on the screen at all times. But that's made it to where it fits in a lot easier for a lot of people to be able to get that test, get that class, get all of those things done. So long answer short, it's a 3-week process if you go in person. You've got up to a year if you decide to do it online. You say, what way's the best? The way that you learn the best, that's the way that is the best. Good question. All right, let's go back to a buyer question. This is one we've been getting a lot lately because of our Renter-to-Homeowner Program. And the question is what's the first step of your Renter-to-Homeowner Program? If you all been paying attention to our page, you know we've been highly successful with so many people here in the Lakeway area with our Renter-to-Homeowner Program. And so the question is, what's the first step in the Renter-to-Homeowner Program and how does it really work? Okay, so here's the first step. Okay, the first step is literally coming in and having a sit-down meeting with us. Okay, this meeting's probably going to last 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, the meeting is literally going to be where we just figure out your path. Okay, why do you want to go? I answered a question earlier about going from renter to homeowner and why maybe you want to do that and what your time frames are. Also, kind of what you're looking for in your home to be. We're going to find out all of that, okay? But we also have several lenders, mortgage people that have partnered with us in this program. And what we're going to do is we're going to be able to put you in contact with, and in a perfect world scenario, we're going to have them here for that meeting also, to where we go ahead and dive into your credit situation. Because how does it really work? It works. We just walk you through the process. But we found a lot of people have little dings on their credit. The people that we've partnered with for this Renter-to-Homeowner Program, they are able to kind of help you get through those little dings to where you get your credit in the place to where you can become a homeowner. So what's the first step? The first step is connecting with an agent at Elite Realty Group, coming in, having a sit-down meeting to where we're able then to put you on the path to going from renter to homeowner. So what I do first, call us, we'll handle the rest. That's the easy answer to this question, but that is a great question. So let's answer another question. This one about going back to home sellers. I'm going to kind of jump back and forth on all these so I don't answer the same question all the time. But here's a question we get when it comes to selling your house, okay? Should I make repairs or should I sell my home as it sits, okay? A lot of people know there's things that need to be done with their house, okay? Again, you live there. You know about it better than anybody. So should I make repairs or sell my home as is? That's a great question, and here's the answer to the question. You should make the repairs if you're wanting to get top dollar for your property. The answer is make the repairs, okay? Because you can't price your home for top dollar and leave it as it needs a lot of repairs. That, especially today, y'all, that's not going to work, okay? You should do it as is if you're going to price it as is, okay? You have to take into consideration it all. To answer your question is going to come back to how you price it. If you're going to want the top dollar, you're going to have to do the repairs. If you're okay not doing the repairs, I don't want to spend the money on it, but you're willing to price it in that condition, do it as is. The answer is it's up to how you want to do it, okay? Great question. Another question, all right? What's the biggest misconception about being a realtor? And I could talk about this one all day, okay? What's the biggest misconception about being a realtor? I could talk about it all day, but I'm going to give you the short answer. Is that being a realtor is easy, okay? It's not easy, okay? Now, pat on the back for the realtors out there. Y'all make it look easy. We make it look easy. But being a realtor is so much more than just having a title realtor, okay? The biggest misconception is a very easy job. It's not the easiest thing. You have to work, okay? You can't just be a title of a realtor and have a business card and your license in a brokerage and think you're just going to knock it out of the park. You got to work. So if you're willing to work and put everything into it that needs to be done, we have the tools, we have the systems, we got the stuff to make it a very good career for you. But I want you to know the biggest misconception is that it's easy. So what we're doing today is answering your viewer submitted questions. Okay, there's some great questions that we get, and we want to answer those for you because we get these over and over. So let's jump right into another one. Okay, again, another one that we get all the time. The question is this: I don't have perfect credit. Can I still buy a home? Okay, I don't have perfect credit. Can I still buy a home? Would you believe, my friend, that a lot of people don't have perfect credit? Okay. Matter of fact, the majority of people do not have perfect credit. Okay. That's why we've partnered with mortgage lenders, banks, those people who are going to help you get the money to buy the home. We've partnered with people who just don't tell you, yes, you can buy or no, you can't, and leave it at that. We've partnered with people who help you, if you don't have perfect credit, rebuild your credit. There are people we've learned that are a whole lot smarter than us, and that is totally okay. We never want to be the smartest person in the room, but we want to work with a lot of smart people, and here at Elite Realty Group, we do that. So we've partnered with people who know if you've got less than perfect credit, what the steps are, what the things are that you need to do to get your credit to a place that you are able to become a homeowner. So to answer your question, do I have to have perfect credit? Your credit does have to be a certain criteria, but if you don't, we've got people who can help you get your credit to where it needs to be. Great question. Let's go to another one, okay? Let's go to another one. This one we're probably answering more than any question about selling your home in today's market. We're probably answering this question more. And the question is this: do price reductions hurt my chances of selling, or can they actually help? Okay, great question. This was going to take a little bit longer to answer, but it's going to be good for me to answer it for you. Okay, do price reductions hurt my chances of selling, or can they actually help? They can hurt and they can help, okay? We literally just did a market study, and we looked at the real estate market, and we took a month's worth of data and we looked at it in a detailed form. Looked at homes that sold in that month, okay? This was about 2 months ago we did this report. In the month, the homes that sold, 65% of the homes that sold that month, this was residential properties, 65% of the homes that sold that month sold with zero price reductions, okay? Those homes sold on average of 28 days. So in 28 days, they had no price reductions, and 65% of what sold in that arena. The remaining 35% that sold in that month, okay, they sold on average of 212 days, and the average price reduction was $30,000. So the question of, do price reductions hurt my chances of selling? I'm not under the belief of you need to just keep reducing. I'm not under the belief of start high, reduce until you get right, because of that data that I just told you. Because you're probably going to wait a long time, 212 days on average, $30,000 in price reductions on average, if that's the route that you take. I'm under the perfect way to do it is price it right when you start. So do price reductions hurt my chances of selling? It's a loaded question, but just don't price it too high to start, and you're never going to have to worry about those price reductions. That's the answer to the question, but very good question. Let's go to another one. This is talking about real estate, career changes. those kind of things, okay? And the question is, how does training and support work at Elite Realty Group for new agents? So how does training and support work at Elite Realty Group for new agents, okay? Great question. We do a 2-week onboarding for brand new people, for people transferring in, because we want people to do real estate the Elite way, okay? Again, I'm partial to Elite Realty Group. I think it's an awesome place. I think what we've built here is very, very good, and we have a way that we want everybody to do it, okay? Because we think we have the right ways, and not that everybody else has wrong ways. We just think our systems and processes are the right ways. So for somebody that comes to Elite Realty Group, brand new or transferring in, you're going to spend 2 weeks onboarding. Now that 2 weeks is not all day, every day. It's about 3 hours a day where you spend the day with me, and we do the onboarding. And literally in those 2 weeks, we train you, teach you all of the systems and processes of the foundational pieces of what we believe it takes to be successful in real estate. You get every single one of those tailor-made for you during that 2-week period. Now, after the 2-week period, we don't just say, pat you on the back, good luck, go do it. That's probably actually where we separate ourselves from a lot of other places, because myself being the principal broker, the broker in charge, if you would have that, I am a non-compete broker, meaning I do not go out and compete for business with our agents. I am what a real estate broker technically is supposed to be, and that's support for the agents. So your support is totally ongoing from that 2 weeks, because 100% my job is to support our agents. And that's literally what I do on a weekly basis. So how does training and support work at Elite Realty Group for new agents? It is great once you're here and you start 2-week onboarding, and it's ongoing for the duration of your time at Elite Realty Group. So great question. Got time for a couple more? Let's do them, okay? This is one that we're getting a lot lately because of interest rates, okay? Here's the question. If interest rates drop later, can I refinance even after I buy my home? That's a great question. And again, it goes back to just a lot of people don't know how real estate and everything that goes with it works. You know what I'm saying? Like they really don't know that. The answer to the question is absolutely you can refinance your home. If rates drop, it just so happens to be today that I'm recording this podcast, there's a Fed meeting and rates have been a big topic. And even though the Fed rate doesn't directly 100% control mortgage rates, it does play into the role. But, you know, the big talk right now is they're going to cut those rates today. So rates have went down. You know, if you bought your house probably the winter of last year, spring of this year, rates have dropped since then. So absolutely 100% after you buy your home, you can refinance later. As far as getting into the details of that, you just need to connect with a lender, a mortgage person, somebody that can 100% help you get the answers to those questions. But great question. All right. Next question. Let's go with this one right here because I really like this question. Okay. And the question is this: if I sell my home, how long does it typically take to find a new one in this market? Well, here's the good news. Okay. If you're selling your home right now, you have more inventory for you to go find your next home now than you've had in several of the last several years here in the Lakeway area, because our inventory is higher than it's been in the last several years. So the answer to the question is, I mean, you could go find that home tomorrow, but you're going to have a lot more to look for now than you have in several years. So the opportunity of finding that home sooner is greater now than it's been in the last several years. That doesn't mean you have to go out and jump on the first house that you go look at. And that's good news because you've got more to look at now than you have in several years. So great question. All right. Last question, and we're done today. Last question is this, and it goes back to be about career changes in real estate. Okay. So the question is, what separates a good agent from a great agent in today's market? And I'm glad you asked that question, because we say all the time around here that there is not what we call a secret sauce or a magic pill of being, this great successful real estate agent. The secret to success is a 4-letter word spelled WORK. Okay. What separates good from great agents in today's market is the great agents are working. Okay. They're working and doing real estate the way that it should be done. And that's it. Okay. They've got a good support system around them, like we do here at Elite Realty Group. If they're new, they've been trained the proper ways to do it. That's all true. But at the end of the day, you could be the smartest, best, have the best marketing, know how to price homes. But if you don't go do the work, nothing else matters. So the answer to the question, what separates good from great, is the great ones go work. So if you're looking into getting into real estate, get into real estate and go work. This has been questions that you guys submit to us that we love to answer for you. Again, we want you to be informed, whether you're buying, selling, investing, whatever it is you're doing in real estate. We want to be your information source. We want to be your guide. We want to be your help. And so if you are buying, selling, investing, you just got general questions, we are always open to answer those for you. You can send us a message to whatever platform you're watching or listening on. We would be glad to answer those. You can call one of our agents here at Elite Realty Group. They would be glad to answer those. And again, from all of us at Elite, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've got some good information from today's podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, share out this content for us. We would literally love for it to go worldwide. But we will see you again on a brand new podcast next week for a new episode. But also be watching our channels for daily content as we release a lot of information every single day for you, the fans of Elite Realty Group. Thank you once again for watching today's episode of the Elite Realty Group Podcast. Hopefully, you've got some good information. Until next time, I'm Mike Elkins, broker owner of Elite Realty Group. I will see you on an upcoming episode.